Now, the Polly Pocket Theater proudly presents The Life of LiseMeitner by Miranda Smith.
Hi, my name is LiseMeitner. My birth name was LiseMeitner, but I shortened it later on. I grew up in Vienna, Austria. I was the third of 8 children. As I grew up, I always wanted to study at the University of Vienna, but the university did not accept women or Jewish people. However, I converted to Protestantism along with several other of my siblings, and in 1899, the university began allowing women. I was one of the first women to apply to the University of Vienna, and I was one of the only 4 women who passed the enrollment test. In 1905, I was the second woman to earn her doctoral degree in physics. I struggled to find a job because many universities would not hire women. It often went like this: "Can I get a job?" "Are you a woman?" "Well, yeah." "Then no." It really got tiring after putting in all this work to keep hearing, "No girls allowed." I soon transferred to the Institute for Experimental Physics in Berlin in 1907. There I met Otto Hahn. He worked at Berlin's Chemical Institute and needed my knowledge in physics. But the lab supervisor, Fischer, was prejudiced against women, so we had to set up a lab down in the basement. In the basement, there were horrible working conditions, like molds that would give me terrible headaches, so we quickly moved to Kaiser Wilhelm Institute. I still had to conform to gender roles here. Like when the male scientists came to view our work, I had to go out shopping with the wives. Hahn and I split up for a while during World War I to work as X-ray techs for the militaries. When we came back, a young scientist joined us. His name was Fritz Strassmann. We continued our research until World War II began. Auschwitz, Germany's annexation of Austria in 1938, was when things became really complicated. Because I was originally Jewish, I had to look for an escape plan. In the spring, the government announced that intellectuals could not leave the countries. However, my co-workers helped me escape to Sweden from the Nazis. I continued my work in Man Seinberg's Institute in Stockholm. He was also anti-woman. He didn't have any support for women in science. I became depressed. Then, good news! Hahn and Strassmann wrote to me that they found that if you bombard uranium with neutrons, it resulted in 2 substances, one being barium. He didn't understand the findings, but he published them anyways. Then one day, while strolling with my nephew, it hit me that barium was among the stable isotopes that were the product of the radioactivity decay of transuranic elements that must have been initially formed after neutron bombardment of uranium.
Houston, we have a problem.
I then realized the potential danger this could lead to with nuclear fission. Albert Einstein was following my work and saw this potential for disaster. He wrote to President Roosevelt to warn him. I was invited to be a part of the U.S. project to create the atomic bomb, but I wanted nothing to do with it. I deeply regret my part in the bomb's creation. By writing disapproving letters to Hahn and not participating in the Manhattan Project, I showed my disappointment. As a result of this separation from my collaborators during World War II, the Nobel Committee failed to understand my part in the discovery. Instead, Otto Hahn was the only one to receive the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the discovery of nuclear fission, without even a mention of my involvement.
And now the bloopers. Oh no!
And now the Polly Pocket
And now the Polly Pocket Theater by LiseMeitner.
No!